Okay, let's dive in. Imagine, if you will, a place that feels almost untouched by time, a kind of hidden world
Hmm.
where you've got these rare tigers, incredible waterfalls, and communities living really closely with nature.
Yeah,
Today we're exploring Simlipal. It's often described as one of India's most mysterious, most vital
it
forests.
really is.
And our mission, well, it's to dig into what makes it so special, find those surprising facts, those core insights, what makes it this living legend.
Exactly. And it's more than just, a national park on a map. It's this vast, living, breathing system. It's got global significance, honestly.
Really significant.
Oh, yeah. It's a
Okay.
treasure trove, really, of lessons about how nature works, how resilient it can be, interconnectedness.
Okay, so let's ground ourselves a bit. For anyone listening who maybe isn't familiar, where exactly are we talking about? Where is Simlipal and how big is it?
Right. So you'll find Simlipal in the Mayurbhanj district. That's in the northeastern part of Odisha.
Okay, Odisha, got it.
And size-wise, well, it definitely earns its reputation. It's one of India's largest tiger reserves, covering nearly 2,750 square kilometers.
Wow, it's huge.
It is. And that scale, that's part of why it can support such incredible, pristine biodiversity.
And the name itself, Simlipal,
Yeah.
it sounds quite evocative. Does it mean something specific?
It does, yeah. It comes from the simul tree. You might know it as the silk cotton tree.
Ah,
They have these incredibly bright red, almost flame-like flowers that bloom in the spring. They just cover parts of the forest.
beautiful.
So the name itself, Simlipal, it sort of hints at that vibrancy, that dynamic life within the forest.
Now, you mentioned tigers. And when people think of Indian forests, naturally the Royal Bengal tiger comes to mind. Simlipal has them, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But I gather there's something else going on with the tigers there, something really unique that puts Simlipal on the map globally.
Yes, this is where it gets really interesting. While it absolutely has Royal Bengal tigers, Simlipal is world famous for the black tiger.
A black tiger.
Yeah. Now, it's not actually a separate species, it's a melanistic variation, which is super rare.
Melanistic, meaning,
Basically, it's a genetic quirk. An excess of melanin pigment makes the tiger stripes much broader, sometimes merging together, so the coat looks incredibly dark, almost black.
wow,
It gives them this shadowy, almost mysterious appearance, like spotting a shadow with eyes, someone once described it.
incredible. And this only happens in Simlipal.
Well, it's the only place in the world where these melanistic tigers are found with any regularity. It's extremely rare elsewhere.
That's amazing, almost mythical. So how many tigers are we talking about, roughly? Black ones and the regular Bengals?
The latest estimate suggests there are around 16 tigers in total within Simlipal, and that number includes the melanistic individual.
Okay, 16.
And alongside them, you've got a healthy population of leopards, too, maybe 40 or more.
40 leopards. So it's
Yeah.
not just the tigers. What other kind of wildlife makes Simlipal their home?
Oh, the list is long. It's a really rich tapestry. You've got large herds of elephants, for instance, towering gars, the Indian bison.
Right, the gars, massive animals.
Exactly. Then there are various deer sambar, barking deer.
Yeah.
And if you look up into the canopy,
Yes.
you might see these amazing giant squirrels leaping between branches. They're quite spectacular.
So it really paints a picture not just of individual species, but this whole intricate web of life.
Precisely. That's the key thing about Simlipal. The sheer biodiversity is just staggering. We're talking over 1,000 species of plants.
1,000.
Yep. 55 different mammals, more than 300 species of birds. 304, I think, is the number, and 62 types of reptiles.
Goodness.
So it's not just a checklist, It shows how incredibly interconnected this ancient forest is. Every single piece plays a role. It really demonstrates nature's ability to, well, regulate itself when it's allowed to.
And sustaining all that life, water must be absolutely crucial.
Oh, fundamental. Simlipal is threaded through with rivers. You've got the Budabalanga, the Salandi, the Kairi rivers cutting across the landscape, feeding everything. And then the waterfalls. They are truly spectacular.
I've heard about those.
Yeah, there are two really famous ones. Baripani Waterfall, that one plunges down about 399 meters.
Wow. 399 meters.
Yep, it's actually the second highest waterfall in India.
Incredible.
And then there's Jaranda Falls, which is just, well, people describe it as a sacred kind of beauty.
Sacred beauty.
Yes. And that's fascinating too, because these aren't just scenic spots for tourists, for the tribal communities living in Simlipal.
Right, the people who live there.
Exactly. For them, these rivers and waterfalls are sacred sites. They have this deep belief that the waters carry a kind of healing energy.
That's a really profound connection, which leads me to wonder about those communities. How does that deep relationship with the forest, with the water, shape their lives? These people who've called Simlipal home for, well, generations.
It shapes everything. It's a relationship built on deep reverence, but also interdependence. You have over 10,000 tribal people living within Simlipal's core and buffer areas.
10,000.
Yeah, communities like the Santhal, the Ho, Munda, Bumidja, many have lived there for generations, often with, no roads, no electricity in the traditional sense.
Wow.
Their lives are guided by the forest rhythms, by the stars, by their ancestral stories and knowledge. It's deeply spiritual. They believe in forest gods, and there's this practice of walking barefoot in the tiger's footsteps.
Really? Following the tiger?
As a sign of respect, yes. Their dances, their festivals, their whole way of being seems to echo the pulse of the jungle. It's this incredible example of coexistence, something, frankly, modern society often struggles with.
You paint this picture of, well, incredible harmony. And that connection sounds truly profound. But even in a place like this, there must be pressures, right? Challenges. Living so closely with wildlife, dealing with the outside world, can't always be a perfect rhythm, can it?
No, you're absolutely right to raise that. It's not an idyll without struggles. Their life is in rhythm, but it faces real threats. For example, back in early 2021, Simlipal experienced massive forest fires.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. That was serious, wasn't it?
It was devastating. Huge areas were scorched, trees burning for days, wildlife fleeing. The skies just turned orange with smoke for miles around. It was a really stark reminder of just how fragile these ecosystems can be.
And what caused those fires? Was it clear?
Well, it was complex, and there were different perspectives, as you can imagine. Some reports pointed towards maybe traditional practices getting out of hand or accidental fires started by people collecting forest produce. Others strongly emphasized climate change, rising temperatures, longer dry spells, making the forest far more vulnerable to fire.
It's a mix of factors, potentially.
Likely. But whatever the specific trigger, it really highlighted this constant tension, this balance. Simlipal exists in between its immense beauty and resilience and the very real threats it faces, whether from local pressures or larger environmental shifts. It's a delicate act.
So given those kinds of challenges, what's being done to protect Simlipal, to try and safeguard its future?
There is a significant positive side to this. A really important step was taken back in 2009.
Okay.
That's when Simlipal was officially declared a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve.
Ah, UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. What does that actually mean in practice?
It's more than just a label. It signifies a global recognition of its ecological importance and, crucially, a commitment to finding ways for nature conservation and sustainable human development to coexist.
So integrating the people who live there into the conservation plan.
Exactly. It acknowledges that nature and people have to live in harmony. It recognizes Simlipal as a global ecological treasure. So yes, it's actively protected, it's meant to be preserved, and it's seen as precious on a world scale. It's about managing the whole system, not just drawing lines.
That's really encouraging. Now, for those listening, maybe feeling inspired by all this, can you actually visit Simlipal? Is it accessible? And what's that like?
Yes, you absolutely can visit. And well, it's definitely an experience probably quite different from your typical tourist destination.
How so?
The park is generally open for visitors between November and June, roughly, but entry is quite carefully managed to protect the environment.
Right, makes sense.
So you will need to get a permit, and you usually need to enter with a registered vehicle. They're careful about limiting impact, and don't expect big, flashy resorts.
No luxury hotels then?
No, not at all. Accommodation is mostly things like eco-camps, forest rest houses, maybe some tribal homestays. It's much more about being immersed in the raw wilderness.
So less about luxury, more about the actual experience of being there. What would be the highlight for a visitor?
Honestly, it's about being present. I mean, spotting a tiger, especially a black tiger, would be incredible luck, right? Like winning the lottery.
Yeah, I imagine.
But the real highlights are often simpler. It's hearing the sounds of the jungle, maybe seeing those giant squirrels, or just sitting quietly by one of the waterfalls like Barapani or Jaranda, and just listening.
Listening to nature's podcast, as it were.
Exactly. It's a powerful chance to disconnect from all the noise of modern life and, reconnect with something ancient, something vital.
What an incredible journey we've taken today, exploring Simlipal. From those unique black tigers and the sheer scale of its biodiversity,
Hmm.
to the sacred rivers and waterfalls, the tribal communities living so closely with the land and facing those challenges, that delicate balance of preservation.
It really is a place that teaches you something. Simlipal, I think, serves as this powerful reminder that real life, it isn't just in our cities, on our screens.
Yeah.
It pulses through those rivers, it roars in the jungle, it dances with fireflies at night. It tells us that true strength comes from respecting nature, not trying to dominate it, living with it, not just above it.
So, something for all of you listening to maybe think about as you go about your day. How does that ancient tribal belief, the idea that the waters of Simlipal hold healing energy, how might that resonate with the modern scientific view of Simlipal as a vital, global ecological treasure? Consider the different ways we understand value in nature, its power, its interconnectedness. What lessons might Simlipal hold for how we live, wherever we are?